Hello and welcome to my video. I'm going to talk about environmental challenges and specific about pollution. This is for the business ethics and sustainability course. So let's start out. What is pollution? Pollution is also called environmental pollution. It's the addition of any substance or any form of energy to the environment at a rate faster than it can be dispersed, diluted, decomposed, recycled, or stored in some harmless form. The major kinds of pollution are classified by the environment actually, and these are the air pollution, water pollution and land pollution. So to go a little deeper on pollution, we got a theory that's called the tragedy of commons. And one of most of the common, although disputed, explanations for environmental problems is the so-called tragedy of commons. The tragedy of commons is defined as free access to and unrestricted demand for a finite resource that ultimately depletes it. The benefits of exploitation accrue to individuals, while the cost of the exploitation are borne by all those whom the resource is available for. This is in turn, it causes demand for the resource to increase. So by the first part of the 19th century, coal came into a large-scale use during the Industrial Revolution. This has also occurred from the World Wars, where a lot of weapons and vehicles were made and a lot of pollution occurred in the world. The resulting smog and soot had serious health impacts on the residents of growing urban centers. In the Great Smog of 1952, pollutants from factories and home fireplaces mixed with air condensation killed at least 4,000 people in London over the course of several days. And one of the most popular disasters of pollution was actually the Chernobyl disaster in 1986. This disaster was caused by an explosion and fire at a nuclear power plant in Ukraine, and then was part of the former Union of the USSR, and that resulted in the release of radioactive particles being spread across much of the western USSR at that moment and Europe. And an estimated 600,000 Belarusian citizens suffered radiation exposure and 4,000 cancer deaths, with approximately 100,000 cancers still to be expected. As with any respectable large company, Nestle has been involved in several incidents regarding pollution. A 1997 report found that in the UK, over a 12-month period, water pollution limits were breached over 2,000 times in 830 locations by companies that included Cadbury and Nestle. Nestle is a signatory of REP's Corporate Commitment 2025, a voluntary agreement that was established in 2015 with the aim of making food and drink production and consumption systems dramatically more sustainable by the year of 2025, with a goal of 20% less food and drink waste. Packaging targets are huge parts of the company's collective commitment. However, on the other side of the world, Nestle has recently been called out as the biggest contributor of a beach devastation by ocean plastic and waste near Manila in the Philippines. Governments are taking measures to limit emission of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. The Paris Agreement, a voluntary agreement among 118 nations, ratified on November 4th, 2016, is one effort being enacted on a global scale to combat climate change. As part of the agreement, each country agreed to take measures to combat climate change, with the ultimate goal of keeping the post-industrial global temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius. So we've now come to the end of this video. In my opinion, the current generation should be more educated on the effects of pollution, and there should be more awareness. And the results from climate change, it can be like catastrophic for our next generation. And we are creating this world for our next generation, and we have a choice to either make it a better place or continue to exploit all of these things that the planet offers. As you have seen, there are numerous ways of pollution, and it is a hard task to take control on all of them. And what I personally have learned is that it all starts with yourself. Take small steps in creating a cleaner and more efficient environment. Reuse products, try to recycle, and try to use a cleaner way of transportation when it is possible. If we all take some steps to a cleaner world, we can reduce the effects of pollution and climate change with all of us.